It's we're not live yet. It's getting ready to. It's turning because it got to catch up with the
Okay.
broadcasting system. I'll tell you when we live.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Ooh,
So
I am
excited.
too. It's like, oh man.
You here, you live, you here, you on, you with us. There you
Yes.
go.
I
We live. We are
we
live.
live.
We live.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
I'm
am
ready.
again. I'm going to put this
Yay.
on recording so that we will also
Recording
have.
in progress.
It's just telling us that recording is in progress.
And I'm gonna say got it. I'm gonna say got it.
Uh huh. No, it's recording us right now.
Oh,
Don't worry
ooh.
about it. Don't worry about it. This is about you tonight, okay? This is totally about Sharonda Johnson telling her story. And I want to welcome you on tonight and just let you know I am so honored that you agreed to come on to the podcast. And I know that you're going to give us a wealth of information. And many may not know you one on one, but a lot of work tonight you're being introduced to the world. And as Jackie told you, you're looking at people in UK, people in London, people in France, Russia. They are not allowing them social media right now. So the ones in Russia can't see you now, but they'll be able to go back later and view the podcast. So you've got viewers all over Mississippi, Colorado, Georgia, Arizona, here in Texas, and then different parts of Texas where people, Jackie keeps up with all of that as the technical director. She can see where people are listening from. And so that's
Okay.
why we're able to share with you. Oh, over in the Congo. So it's a lot of people who are going to hear your story on tonight, near and far. But I just want to say again, I'm honored to have you on. And I know Jackie let you know the same thing, that she was honored that you're here. And I know that your family is honored to have you speak on
Yes.
tonight. This is,
Yes.
you have some valuable information. And so, ready? You set?
Yes. I'm
Can,
ready.
can we
I'm
go?
ready.
Can we go?
Yep. Yes. We can go.
All
We can
right.
go.
Well, Miss Johnson, Sharonda Johnson, tell us your story. We're ready.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Sharonda Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
and I have cystic fibrosis. I was actually born with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you back because I was diagnosed at the age of 26.
Okay.
So it was later on in my life.
Okay.
So I am a fraternal twin. We were premature.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a it's a sister.
It's all right. It's
Sorry,
all right. It's all
it's a
right.
sister, and it was four of us.
Okay.
And my parents, all my other sisters and brothers, everybody was healthy besides me.
Okay.
And
Okay.
see, what happens is both of your parents will have to have the trait for one of your children to actually have fully.
Okay.
So it's like 25% chance for each child
Mm-hmm.
uh, to get CF.
Okay.
So I happens to be the one that got it. I was actually the third child. A lot of
Okay.
times, the third child actually gets it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
after I was born,
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably about 10 to 14 days after,
Mm-hmm.
I had to have emergency lung surgery. It was said due to severe asthma. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they basically said I had, like basically all my life.
Okay.
And so I was a much slower developer just because I was premature as well as my lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always be in the hospital. I always have like a cold, or I would get the flu,
Mm-hmm.
or any type of lung infections. My immune system was like extremely weak
Mm-hmm.
because as my body changed,
Okay.
I grown to more symptoms.
Okay.
So it showed up early, but I guess, well, I know due to usually it's mainly in Caucasians, so you don't get tested. So I would advise any and everybody to have a CF um, screening,
Okay.
because you don't know, it doesn't matter about your race. It's like, take out the race and just see a face,
Okay.
because if you just see a face, that doesn't matter, because it affects your body in all kind of ways. Your
Okay.
pancreas, your lungs. I mean, it could just affect a lot of things, in your body, and at different times. With me, I don't know what about anyone else from my experiences. It different things like it. I mean, it just went like just about all over, and especially with my gaining weight and things of that nature.
Okay.
So as I was saying, I was in and out of hospital, constantly breathing treatments, things of that nature.
Okay.
Uh, I could just remember. I can remember when I was like 5 years old, and
Okay.
so I had this doctor's appointment with my mom, and I just remember them saying, like, due to severe asthma, she won't be able to play any kind of sports, and when it comes to to gym class, she has to sit on the side, and so I remember them pulling out them pediatric charts
Yes.
where you look at, you're in a 90 percentile and this is the 10 percentile, and then you had, I guess I'm choice. I said it's A, B, and it's other,
Okay.
because A A is good, B is what B you striving to be the A, and other was me.
All
I
right.
was like, so then they would say this is where she should be,
Okay.
this is them striving, and then
Okay.
this is her, and then they would always pull that pen out, which upset me, even though I'm 5 years old, and be like, well, this is where she's at, and I would be somewhere in the 7% or 8%. I'm like, 8 people, like,
Yeah.
really,
Uh
8 kids
huh.
is this is us.
Okay.
So I'm just like, okay, I just want to just throw it up, just get it and throw it away and just ball it up. I didn't want to see that. That was so discouraging at a young age. And so I just remember the doctor saying, like, um, what is she eating? Are she having 3 meals a day and two snacks and things of that nature? And my mama was not having that.
Yeah.
She made that face. She has a face she made, and she
Uh
be, and she said, she called me Rhonda.
huh.
So she
Okay.
said, Rhonda eat just like the rest of my children. I don't not feed my child. Her dad is thin. And when they say that, oh, okay, so her dad is, so it's genetic. Okay. That was the only way that they didn't see that. So I'm
Okay.
like, we both walk off the appointment mad. She mad, I'm mad. So it's like, but she pulled me to the side and she gave me a lot of strength with her words, like, no, you're not different from nobody else. Just because you have trouble breathing doesn't mean that, you're not going to be in gym. You're not going to be on the outside, like, things that she gave me that type of encouragement. So when I became 10 years old, that's when I noticed. I said, excuse me.
That's okay.
When I
That's
became
okay.
10, I said, something is wrong. Like, something is way more wrong than me than just asthma. So I did a mini investigation, and I would, talk to family members that had asthma, and on both sides, and it ranged from children to adults to teenagers to the elders, like, including my grandma.
Uh huh.
And so I would ask questions like, hey, do your lungs feel like they're burning? Um, like, like, do you get sick easily, things of that nature? And it was like, no. I say, well, how does it feel to have an asthma attack? They say, oh, you just, like, you can't catch your breath, and you take an asthma pump and you do a treatment and you're okay. They say it's nothing like that. And I was like, so you mean, your lungs are not feeling like they're burning? And I was
Yeah.
like, no. So I went to different family member houses. I'm checking for nebulizers, albuterol. Everybody had an asthma pump. I can't say that.
Okay.
And two people houses had nebulizers, and my grandma, she didn't. So I said, okay. And I wrapped everything up, and I was like, man, I'm dealing with something more serious. Like, If
And
nobody's going through what I'm going through,
what age were you
I
at
said
that
nobody.
time?
I, I was 10, and I recognized that,
Okay. Let me
my
ask you.
lungs are constantly running.
Let me ask you a
Yes, ma'am.
question right quick. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
did you miss a lot of school? Because one of the viewers is asking
No,
that. Okay.
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. 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 That was a question that a viewer wanted to know.
Oh, yes, ma'am. No problem. No, ma'am. No, I went to school. My mom and dad just stayed up on my health. All my doctor appointment, anything will go wrong, they would make sure they always tell me how to. But no, I didn't miss any school. It's like I loved school, so it's like that was like torture to miss school to me. So
Okay.
no, no, ma'am. I
Okay.
I was good. I was good on that aspect, and
Okay.
so I just remember I was running to my grandma's house. I didn't know why I was running there for, and I remember stopping. And it took me like 5 minutes to catch my breath. Mind you, my lungs are just, I mean, like burning. And
Okay.
so I was like, man. So by the time I caught my breath, I uh I just remember, just asking the Lord, like, just to stop my heart.
Oh.
Because I said I can't deal with this. I can't. This a child not supposed to be going through this. I'm a kid. Like,
Yeah.
this is not how I want my life to be. So I was like, Lord, just stop my heart right now, and
Oh.
it can be done. Like, I love my family and everything, but they don't understand. They don't know what I'm dealing with. So I was ready to be done, and I just ran up to my grandma's house, just just complaining and crying. Like I said, Grandma said, I'm not like y'all. I'm not going through what y'all going through. It's more serious. I say, like, my lungs are burning, and it's like when she said, Rhonda, I believe you. She said, I believe every time. Um, give me a minute.
That's okay.
Give me a minute.
Get your take your time. It's your
And
story, and you're stronger.
I,
We want you to take your time. This is your story for you to tell, and we're
and
right here with
sometimes
you. Okay?
when you think about those childhood memories, it's harder as an adult looking back on that and realizing how hard it was to go through this as a child, knowing that no matter how much somebody empathized with you, they couldn't understand how bad it really was.
Yes.
And as an adult, you you sometimes we have to go back and comfort our inner child and tell them, you know what, you made it through. You're here,
Sharonda,
and we're proud.
we're just trying to check on you, baby. Is somebody there with you?
I got my son.
Okay.
Yeah, I got he in the back.
Okay.
He here with me.
Take your time.
Now, Sharonda,
Yeah.
you take as much time as you need right
Exactly.
now, okay?
Exactly.
You don't need to even be worried about us, because
We'll keep it
me and
moving.
Electra, we carry things on here, okay?
Yes. I
You
think it's
know,
such an amazing thing, Jackie, that she stepped out on faith to come on here and tell her story. And it's
mm-hmm.
very hard. It's very hard, and I can tell. And we've had lots of conversations, but she wanted to come on, and I promised her that we would be here for her.
And you know what, Sharonda? There's a lot of people who think they're strong, and they don't realize until they start telling their story
Yeah.
how real it is. And so it is real.
It is real.
And the fact that you're willing to come on here and be real with us,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, I'm honored. How honored we are.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
I want to also tell you,
Oh,
kudos to your parents. Kudos to
thank
your
you.
parents, because it sounds like they were there for you.
Yes.
They
They
were
were.
there for
Yes.
you, even
Yes.
though there were errors in diagnosis and whatnot and whatnot. Um,
She's such an
even though,
amazing woman. She's a very amazing
Thank you.
woman, Jackie. So
Mm-hmm.
while she's doing that, Jackie, I think we have people over here in the chat section. So what
Okay.
I
All
want to
right.
do is go on and read off some of those
Okay.
comments that they're making because people are really concerned. And you
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of love, Sharonda. You got a lot of love. Okay? I just want you to know that. So while you're getting yourself together, um, I'm going to read some things, okay?
Okay.
Says here, an encouraging parent is the greatest gift. And that's what a
Yeah.
viewer is saying. And you do have, from what you're saying, not only do you have some amazing parents, you got an amazing family. And you have
Yeah.
some amazing friends around you. Another viewer is on here and is saying, what advice can you give mothers with children who have asthma and feel like there's something else wrong with their children's breathing? And I know you might not be up to answering it right now, but I just want to know that you know
Nah.
that there are.
Well,
Get
I,
get.
I think what she said a while ago, if you have
Yeah.
any suspect any issue, and I would
Mm-hmm.
say even if your child gets diagnosed with asthma, what I'm telling you from hearing Sharonda's story, you get them tested. You get them tested
Mm-hmm.
because
It's important.
there's no shame in finding out you got a disease. The shame is not knowing you have it and not getting treated for it.
Exactly.
That's the shame. And so I think what I heard Sharonda saying earlier is if you have a child with severe asthma, don't just
Mm-hmm.
assume that that's all it is.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
could be a whole lot more. It
Yes.
could
Yeah.
be, it could be CF. It could be a million different things.
Yes.
You know, um,
Yes.
Mhm.
I discovered that I started having symptoms of my disease when I was 16 years old, but
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
didn't get diagnosed with um, muscular dystrophy until I was 44 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had the symptoms since I was
Oof.
16.
Yeah. You
Yes.
did.
So
Ah,
yeah.
yeah.
You okay?
Okay. Okay. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus. Like yeah.
It's
Don't
Oof.
worry.
okay. You're amazing, Sharonda. You are amazing.
You're
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
so you ready?
I'm
We are ready when you're
ready.
ready. This your car. You driving this car. All right. Me and Jackie
Yes,
just here to
ma'am.
keep you
Yes,
from
ma'am.
going in the ditch. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Lot of
ma'am.
love for you. We got some more people on here, and I know Jackie kind of elaborated that you had already mentioned about when people are having saying that their kids have asthma, and what was your view about it when you feel like there's something else wrong with your child's breathing. And did you want to add to
Mhm.
what Jackie kind of said she heard you saying previously to this viewer?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
So you ready?
okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. If your child is having any kind of breathing, or if you know someone with asthma and you see your child is not having those same symptoms or even more, please, I would advise any and everyone to get a CF screening,
Mm-hmm.
because I'd rather for you to know and not have it, and not to know and have it, because it can kill you. It can, I mean, it can take you long term, or it can get you out of there short term. It really can. So
Okay.
it's good to get tested so you can have the proper medications for your child or your children, or anyone in your family.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So I have another viewer who says, "Our cousin, it's okay. Your story will help someone else. It's okay to feel the pain. Crying is good for the soul. Take your time, cousin.
Absolutely.
We love you so much." And so this
Oh,
viewer knows you and is a relative to you. And you know what's good about that, Sharonda? They're even supporting you at this point of coming on tonight
yes,
and giving you
absolutely.
that
Yes,
support that they know you need because they live around you and they know your pain.
yes,
But this viewer is absolutely right. It's okay to cry.
yes,
It's okay to say,
yes,
I'm thinking back on this and it's hard on me because a lot of times we
yes,
mask. We mask for the public,
absolutely.
but we're
Hmm.
walking around in
I agree.
pain. So we
Yes.
have another same viewer said that she's definitely a strong lady. You all have a strong young lady here telling her story. You are a very strong guy.
Amen.
See, and the thing of
Thank you,
it
cousin.
is, Sharonda, I'm gonna say this, and I really mean it. Your life, you're touching a lot of people you'll never meet. And I'm not just talking
Oh,
about
thank
on
you.
tonight. I'm talking about
Yes.
every day that you rise up and you get and leave out of that house or whatever it is that you're doing. Somebody see you and they want to be just like you. And the only reason why
Mhm.
some people haven't given up, I'm telling you the truth, is because they watching your fight. That's the only reason why they have
Oh,
not thrown in the towel because they watch
yes,
you in your fight. You understand me?
yes.
You're doing a mighty
That's
thing
amazing.
on tonight, and you do a mighty
Thank
thing
you.
every day.
Thank you.
I can tell you're a
Yes,
very
thank you.
powerful
Appreciate
woman.
that.
Um,
Oh,
you
thank you.
have another viewer saying, "We love you, Rhonda. Mama said she is so proud of you." That's another relative. And then
Yes.
you use a walk. You are a walking miracle. God bless you. That's the same thing I was telling you. You are
Thank
touching
you. Thank
lives
you
that you
so much.
don't
I
even
appreciate that.
know. There are
I appreciate
people
that.
holding on and hanging in there because of you. Don't
Yes.
you never count yourself out. Don't you never say,
Yes.
oh, me, I'm not like everybody else. And something I heard you say earlier that I don't want you to hear you say
Yes.
no more. That you wanted to give up.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
you wanted to stop breathing. Because no, you don't. You don't have to be like nobody else. You know why? Because you were uniquely made. And the
Thank
only
you.
reason
Yes,
why
ma'am.
God gave that to you and skipped everybody else, because he knew he could trust you with it. He knew he could
Amen.
trust you with cystic fibrosis. Sound crazy,
Yes,
huh?
ma'am.
But that's God.
Yes.
That's God. Let's keep going
Amen.
because they want to
Yes.
hear from you. They don't want to hear from me. I like
Yes,
that
ma'am.
smile. I
And
like
if
that smile.
yes, ma'am. And my grandma, she's not here. Lord rest her soul. She's not here anymore. But she just, I pray she's looking down on me because those words changed my life because those words made me want to live again. Like when she said everything in the right moment at the right time. And I was like, I know, because I knew I wasn't tripping. I said, I know
Yeah.
I'm a kid,
Yeah.
and I know kids think things crazy stuff, but I was like, I knew I was on it, at a young age.
Yes.
And so it's like the Lord has always been with me ever since I was in the womb because CF had took half of my lung, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just it was deteriorating, you know what I'm saying? So he's been holding my hands since
Mm-hmm.
in the womb.
Yeah.
And so it's like I said before, a lot of things that the doctor said that I wasn't gonna be able to do,
You
I was
did.
able to do.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything they said they feel like I wouldn't overcome, I overcame.
Mm-hmm.
Because they said I couldn't play sports or anything like that. Well, when I was 14, I was a member of the first girls late basketball team, for Stephen F. Austin Middle School.
All right.
And it's like the Lord
Excellent.
always, when I tell you the Lord always gave me strength, because woo, baby, it was not easy, especially without that practice. And baby, I really be just running my little heart out. As long as I had my asthma pump, I was
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yeah.
And you know what, Sharonda? these girls,
Yes,
young girls coming up, they need to hear that because, there's a lot of kids that are told, well, you got bad health, you can't do this. You got bad
yeah,
health, you can't do that. But someone else trying to make choices for them, saying, well, you have to be a science nerd because you can't be uh,
yeah,
or you can't go out there and run track. You can't this, you can't that. But what you're saying, and what young girls out there everywhere need to hear is, yes, you
yeah.
can.
Yes,
And
you
it's
Yes.
can.
because my parents, taught, they that's what they instilled in me. Like, you're no different from nobody else. Like, you can do it. Don't tell nobody what you can't do. You show yourself what you can do, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I did. Because um, also when I was 10 years old, I don't know why I asked this question because I was too young. I say, am I going to be able to have a child or children?
Yes.
And they was like, no, ma'am, because due to your severe asthma, you would most likely miscarry.
I was
And
going to
it's
ask
like,
that question. I bet you there's a
yes,
lot of people who told you you'll never be able to have a child.
yeah,
Guess what? Guess what?
yeah.
You
And
got a
they was
son
sad.
graduating from high
They
school.
they was sadly mistaken. And
Yes.
so, like I
Mhm.
said, as my body changed, so that more symptoms come on. Because
Mm-hmm.
I started having problems with my pancreas, and I had a pancreatism, and it's like when you get that,
Mm-hmm.
you have to sit down because it won't allow you. It's
Oh.
like what's the pain? It's how when you drink too much soda water and your kidneys mess with you, like you feel like
Uh-huh.
I drank too much soda, so my kidneys hurt. Well, it's like 10 times worse,
Oh, wait.
and it's
Mm.
like it will not stop. You have to sit down because if you don't, you're gonna collapse
Yeah.
because
Mm.
that pain is that bad.
Yeah.
Until you get it unflamed,
Uh-huh.
uh, you just gonna deal with the pain.
Uh-huh.
And so fast forward to a few more years, um, with CF, you get a nasty cough, and that's
Okay.
off top because people used to think I got asked by a doctor, "Are you a secret smoker?" I said,
Ah.
"A secret smoker." He said, "Yeah. Are you one of them people? Are you one of them persons that you don't want the family to know that you smoke?" I was like, "Excuse me." I said, "I do not smoke, and my lungs can't take all that." But he's
Mm-hmm.
like, "You can tell me if you're a smoker." I said, "I do not smoke." Like, but it's like that cough is just horrible. And when I tell you, uh, it's like I can't don't look. Nobody better not ever ask me to go to a golf game or a tournament, or anything, because they're gonna put me out because I be this. You know what I'm saying? I've been
Mm-hmm.
distracted everybody because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stop coughing. But what I can say is, with everybody who's ever into my life, that cough, it stays with you, and you cough every day, all day.
Mm.
Nobody never made fun of me
That's good.
ever. I mean,
Oh,
ever
excellent.
Yes.
in my life. And I'm
Oh,
40. I'm
excellent.
I'm 40. I'm 40 years old. I've
Mm-hmm.
never got made fun of because that would have really, really, really knocked my self esteem. It would have really made me self conscious and all that because that's something I had no control over.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone I didn't know why it was
Uh-huh.
because I was always told I had asthma. So I was like, this must be one of them, caused
Mm-hmm.
from asthma. So it's like I appreciate everyone, who paths I have ever crossed that never made fun of me,
Mm-hmm.
due to that
Yeah.
because that would be like like a deal breaker. Like, no, I
And
would have been like a snail in the
that
shell.
that you thank your parents for that too, because your
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
parents raised a strong daughter. And
yes. Thank
most
you,
people,
thank you.
when you've got a strong kid, that kid doesn't get bullied. Because if
Mm-hmm.
they do
Yeah,
get bullied, they're going to be making an example of somebody.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I
So
can just
yeah,
tell that you are not the type to sit around and say,
I
you talk about me all you want. You want me to come cough in your face? I'll prove it to you.
Yeah.
see. I'm one of them people like you. Don't look. Don't I don't mess with nobody. Don't come mess with me. But I do not play. Like, just leave
Mm-hmm.
me alone, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
move around, and then that's it. But I've never really gotten into with nobody. But you definitely not going to play me. You definitely not going to disrespect me because I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I
But like I
I
said, like when I became was about 20 years old.
mm-hmm.
Well, CF also. That's why I say CF messes with different parts of your body. It
Okay.
don't just Just pick this one thing. Like a lot of times when you see cystic fibrosis, CF for short, you think about, oh, it just attacking. No, it attacks everything because my sinuses. I mean, it messes with it real bad because what CF does, it I'm sorry, it produces a lot. You get a lot of mucus, and
Okay.
that's the real reason you get all these colds. You get all this pneumonia because
Mm,
see, a cold for me within 3 days can turn into pneumonia, a lung infection, a
Oh.
mm,
bacteria infection because that bacteria sits and that mucus sits and it's not going
mm,
anywhere until you get it out.
mm-hmm.
So I used to have the vet, the vest and everything. I call it my little bulletproof vest because that's exactly it just reminds me of being a cop.
Yeah.
So I used to put that on, and I thought I was a cop for about 30 minutes to hours.
That's okay.
Explain that,
Yes.
Sharonda. What are you talking about? A vest.
Okay. The vest is like two like little. It's not really like little plastic tubes, and you got left and right, and it has like numbers where you can put that number on the one, two, three, four, depending on how far it goes up. And what it does is it kind of like shakes your chest up, like how you shaking the tree and the
Mm,
leaves fall down. Well, see, that's what the vest is doing
mm,
for
mm.
me. It shakes it up and it makes the mucus drop,
Okay.
and then you just cough everything up,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Got it.
everything, and then you take your treatments and things of that nature. But
Got it.
I had
Got it.
to have because with CF you need to have the ENT doctor. It's very
Mm,
it's very important because what happens is not only do you have mucus and sinus infections, things of that nature, you start developing a lot of bad headaches. And it's like,
mm,
I would get headaches from 3 or 4 days. And when it got so bad, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I told my mom, I told my dad that nobody wanted me to have surgery. And I understood that through the safety reasons. But like I told Rick, I'm like, y'all don't know what I'm going through. Y'all don't know how I feel to have the longest I've ever had a headache altogether was a whole month and a half. It
Mm-hmm.
was so bad I would get fevers because my head would just I mean, when I say booming, I mean all your sinus glands, all in your eyes. It would get sometimes so bad you feel like your nose is broke because it hurts. Like it puts that much pressure, and your headaches are just unbelievable. You can take something and your headache can be so bad it
Uh-huh.
takes hours to start working. Um, yeah, so it's like it's not easy, and I don't care how many pills you take. I don't care how many over the counter, what I'm saying, any of that prescribed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You need that surgery. You need to get that stuff sucked out of your
Lungs.
sucked out of your nose,
Oh, okay.
because I mean, out of your nose, out of your nasal cavities and things of that nature, because it just sits there.
Mm.
It's gonna sit there until your ENT doctor. They have what you call, they have these little tubes, and they have it go up your nose, all the way up your nose. Like the little COVID sticks. Well, that's
Yeah.
how long the camera thing is. So with the COVID test, that was no problem for me because I'm used to that going up my nose anyway.
Oh, okay.
Something of that. Yeah,
Nature.
some of that
Yeah.
magnitude.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So he was like, and I said, why is everything that happens to me be so severe? Oh, you got the most severest case of a sinusitis maxillary prolapse. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to have emergency surgery twice. Once in December of what year was that? 20. I forgot what year. Was it 20? I forgot. I was like 21. One when I was 20 and one when I was 21. Oh, 2002 and then 2003.
Okay.
I had the first one. Everything went good, but after the first one, so much scarring came,
Okay.
and it's due because of the mucus, because see, because what it was doing was it was making the scar, all that stuff, super like wet. You could say, because of the mucus, it never stayed dry, never
Oh.
stayed dry enough to try to heal. So
Mm-hmm.
they had to go back in there and scrape all of that out of my nose, as well as it got on my bone. So they had to scrape my bone off, and I was like, if you ain't never had nasal surgery, man, that hurt. It you either have like three things happen. You either you can lose your sight, you can become mentally challenged, or you can lose your sense of smell. Well, I lost my sense of smell,
Mm.
Okay.
and once and it took only probably about 8 months to completely leave. Like it was completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was hurt because, you know, I had the best news, my miracle baby. I got pregnant with my miracle baby
Yeah.
and my son.
Yeah.
And it was that pregnancy, it was not easy.
Yeah.
I felt like I can literally feel the him when he was 3 months in my stomach. I
Um.
literally can feel when I would breathe, I would feel him take some of my air. You could just you could feel it. So
Oh.
I felt like I was sometimes breathing through a regular straw that you drink soda with, and then sometimes I felt like I was drinking through a coffee straw.
Oh.
Mm.
That's how hard it was. A bit
Mm-hmm.
on my breathing. They had to triple my medicine, my breathing medication, because it was just excuse me.
That's okay. That's
It
okay.
was just too. It was just too much because I kept. I said, man, I can't breathe. Like he's take. I said, you ever know that saying like taking your breath away because he definitely was doing that because I
Yeah.
was like, baby, we was fighting.
Yeah.
We was both fighting to breathe. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Mm-hmm.
So have you?
he came. I had. Yes,
So
ma'am.
what's the longest hospital stay you might have had? Because that's a question that they don't always get in the chat section. Some people they text it to me because they don't know
Okay.
how to get in the chat
Well,
section. So the question is, what's the longest stay in your what's the longest hospital stay that you had, and what was what do you feel was the impact on yourself and your family?
okay. Well, the thing with that is that I really feel like as a newborn, I stayed more in the hospital because, like I said, I was premature. I was born premature, and everything was like developing slow for me. So I stayed probably more, maybe two months or so in the hospital. Far as me growing up, I was just in and out, maybe a day or two, or no longer than 3 days. But
Okay.
I was always in and out the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Either getting the
Mm-hmm.
treatment because my lungs is messing up, or they sending me home, or giving me oxygen, like things of that nature. But it took a toll on my family. But like I say, we believe in the Lord, we believe in God, so
Yes.
we always, we're just looking towards Him, to guide us. Me and my family.
Yes.
So it's like, but it also, it kind of brought us closer because it's like, when you when you have someone in your family that that has health problems, you have a lot of sympathy, and you grow a lot of compassion.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's what it was. It just made my family to go out there whenever they seen people that had any kind of disability or anything like that, whether it's breathing or not, they show 'em a whole lot of compassion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what that was.
Okay. And then
And
some
it's so
more.
good that you can recognize that, Sharonda, that
Yes,
you know there are people with compassion out there in the world. There
Yes.
really
yes,
are, and
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
you've been blessed to have many of those in your life.
Yes.
So
Yes, ma'am.
that is a good
Awesome.
thing. Yeah.
You have some more
Hmm.
viewers here that that are making comments, and your story is so powerful, Rhonda. Love you. And then another viewer
Wow.
says, yes, says God is so good. Thanks for sharing your story. And then another
Yay.
viewer
You're
says,
welcome.
look at God. To God be the glory. My twin sister,
Amen.
my twin sister giving her testimony. Alive and well. Love you, Queen. Love you, Queen. That's what your twin sister said.
That's my twin. That's my twin. Yes, that's
And
my
then
twin.
we got
Hmm.
just a viewer that's just kind of giving you a hand clap, and that means that that person is
Yes.
applauding you.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Sharonda, you talked
I,
a little bit about your miracle baby.
yes.
Did the doctors really discourage you from keeping the baby when you got pregnant, or was everyone encouraging for you?
No, actually, my doctor, he was really encouraging because it's like he like anytime I had, and that was really one of the main things is my breathing because I
Mm-hmm.
kept saying like I can't breathe, like I can't breathe, like it's
Mm-hmm.
like, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like he kept on like he had to go back 3 different times, but like this should help, like this should help, this should help, like
Mm-hmm.
he was super concerned, like he was an amazing doctor,
He was
he really
fighting for
was.
you. He was a
Yes,
fighter
he
for you.
he he was a very amazing doctor.
And you are so fortunate that you were able to carry that child, because I know people
Yes,
with
ma'am.
CF, and that's the
Yes.
number one thing. That's a thing that they said, well, I tried that. I tried, but I couldn't carry a child to term, and I just couldn't do it.
Yes.
And so that is a miracle baby, and I'm so
Yes,
happy for you,
he is.
that you were able to because I know it was hard. I mean, you're talking about
Ooh,
9 months of not being able to breathe, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and then
Ooh,
you got to take care of him after he's born. Still, you're not going to
yes.
be still racing to not breathe because you're not getting any sleep. So,
And do y'all know that he tried to come early, and
oh
I
my,
was like, I'm talking to my stomach like, now what is you doing? They trying to make sure your lungs is good so you can be
yeah,
okay. Like
you got to
he was
stay in
charging
there.
at me like a football player. Yeah, like he was charging at me like a football player. So I'm like, what's going on? I say, you need to get yourself together and calm down. So they was like, if we don't, they say if we don't right, if we make this last step and he doesn't stop, we gonna have to have emergency C-section because he is not. And I said, when I tell you, I was like, oh, Trey, sit down. Like that's just enough. Like what is wrong with you? I'm talking to him like he already here.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
you got to
he
say,
calmed down.
I was a preemie and I got lung issues. I don't want you to have lung issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
exactly. Because you know what?
Mhm.
That was what the doctors were saying. Like his lungs, we need him to stay in as long as possible because his
Yeah.
lungs is not all the way developed. But I end up just having him be like 11 days. 11 days early. It was a good delivery. They gave me too much medicine. He slid out, and there you go. So
But the lungs are the last thing, from what I understand, the last thing to develop. And so it is important
I
to try to
have a,
carry a
yeah.
child to
I
term.
have
I'm so
another
proud of you.
I have another question coming through the text. Sharonda, someone wants to know, um,
Yeah.
are there certain foods that you have to eat with cystic fibrosis, or can you just
Mm.
eat any type of foods that you want?
I eat any. I am a greedy person, so I eat. I eat everything. It's just we are, even though you may think, oh, she's thin, we are more likely to get diabetes.
Okay.
I am pre-diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, my doctor just really hurt my little heart. I was like, oh, baby, I'm too thin. I'm not. I don't have diabetes. She said, man, it's more likely for you to get it. So, but it's pre-diabetic, but it's extremely low. So you do have to take care of yourself. Like you can't just eat sweet just because. But it's not no particular diet that I follow. I eat whatever I cook.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
yeah.
but yeah,
I
I,
have
I,
another.
I,
Go
yeah,
ahead, Jackie.
I hear you.
Jackie, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you don't want to become diabetic, and you don't want it, because
yes,
I'm struggling with right now uncontrollable blood sugar, and I
yes,
have to be so good. No cookies for me. No cookies.
yes.
No pasta, no
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah.
So
Oh
no, you don't
wow.
want to get there.
You don't
So
want to get there.
good for you that you're
Yes.
keeping that under control.
I have
Oh yeah.
another.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have another text
Yes, ma'am.
from a
Mm-hmm.
viewer that says, I have a granddaughter who is so self conscious, but looking at you and seeing your beauty and how you see you are
Thank
so
you.
grounded. What
Thank you.
can I say to her? Because she really feels, due to her illness, that she is a
Hmm.
ugly person with, and she's got the little emoji with the tears. What she wants to know, what would you say to her granddaughter? Because her granddaughter is, she has an illness, but she
Yes.
thinks she's ugly, and it is hurting her grandparents because she got the emoji with the
Yes.
tears. What
Yes.
could you say? What could you say? Because I see this, I see her crying out.
Yes. Okay. With me, because I did. I mean, don't get it twisted. I did have issues because uh one thing that everybody knows about CF, or if they didn't know, I'm going to say that we struggle with our weight. Once we're one particular weight, that's just the weight that we are, and a lot of times we don't go past 100. Some can go as low as 75, pounds. I was 80 all my life. So my thing is love yourself, don't care what nobody else think. And this is how I always looked at it. I'm built like a model. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm beautiful. The Lord made me, who I am. And it's just like, if you don't like what you see, then look the other way. I
Yeah.
have no problem with it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, you got to sometimes encourage yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because don't look for it outside, you know what I'm saying? Take it upon yourself and say, I am beautiful. So what? I'm saying, so what this, so what that, so what I'm dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, you beautiful. You a beautiful queen, inside and out.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank.
So that's what she should say to her granddaughter. Know that she's a
Absolutely. Like, man,
queen.
yeah.
That's
She's a queen, and that's why I call all women's queens. That's the reason why my nickname is Queen, because I
yeah,
am a queen. I'm a beautiful queen. I'm a
yeah,
beautiful black queen. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We all are queens. So every time I approach a woman or a girl, uh, you beautiful queen. Point
yeah,
blank, I call everybody queen.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's like that's how you got to see yourself as a queen,
yeah,
and that's just what it is.
yeah. You said something very powerful about how it helped you that people did not talk about you, and it helped your self esteem. And what I'm seeing
Yes,
through this text by this viewer is that along the way, somebody didn't get that support that you got to know
yes,
that you are important, to know that you are a queen, to know that you might have this illness, this sickness, this disease, but that doesn't define who you are. And you're
absolutely.
so blessed to have that.
Yes, thank you,
And I
thank you.
see that you give that back. You give that love that your
Yes.
family gave you back.
Yes, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
you are also, you've educated yourself on this disease, but you're educating us on tonight, because people
Yes,
will
ma'am.
hear of a certain degrees in the disease and they just, oh, that's nothing, or that. But
Yes.
when you haven't been there, you can't say that. You
Hmm.
haven't been there.
Absolutely,
You haven't
absolutely.
sat
I
in that
agree.
emergency room. You haven't had those surgeries. You haven't been looked down on. You haven't been counted out. It's a lot when women
Hmm.
go through different points of their bodies breaking down for whatever the reason.
Yes,
And we
yes, yes,
tend to think that we have to conform, because I'm leading somewhere with this and I'm going to ask you a question. We
yes,
have to look like somebody else to be accepted. And
yes,
that's what's
yes,
worrying, that's what's concerning me about young women today. And me and Jackie talk about this a lot. This social media have young girls feeling like they
yes,
gotta look like somebody that got more money, and they don't understand that that's not that real
yes.
person. If you had the
Absolutely.
opportunity and had the bully pulpit that you could say something to these young girls that is trying to live off of the images on social media,
Yeah.
what would you say?
You can't believe everything you see, and just because the grass is not always green on the other side, and just because that's what you think you see, sometimes it's really what you don't see. It's like people, anybody can put up a facade. I can go out there and do a and put a poster and then go, go in the back and take a picture. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I can go on the internet and snap a place and act like, oh, I'm in here right now. I'm here right now. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't want what somebody else have, because you don't know what they did to get it. It's like, you are okay, you are fine and beautiful just the way you are. You don't have to change anything. You're perfect the way you are. If the Lord wanted you to have these things, hey, you would have had it. But
Yeah.
so what? I mean, everybody is imperfection in everybody. Nobody's perfect. So love you at the end of the day. Realize your worth. Like, trust and believe. A lot of, I would say, over 80%.
Yeah.
It's not these people's real life. But when you so
Mm-hmm.
young and involved, and this is what you see on a regular basis, then that's what you tend to believe. But you have to also surround yourself with some real people. And when it's somebody, and if your mama, your grandma, your aunt, and your uncle say that you are beautiful, believe that, because they love you and
Yeah.
they telling you what's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to start believing that, because if you hear it every day, you will start believing. And you will be like, I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Inside out, like,
Mm-hmm.
because too many people that said that to me. So you
Uh-huh.
got to start believing that when people who care about you say that you're beautiful, you're this, you're that,
Yeah.
because they really mean it and they know that and they see it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that
Thank
so
you.
Yes,
much
ma'am.
because
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
I'm
Yes,
telling
ma'am.
you, the struggle is real within the minds of these
Yes,
young girls who are
yes,
now
yes,
coming onto
yes,
the scene, and it's kind of hard to tell them. If someone wants to love you, they'll love you with your sickness. They'll love you with your flaws.
yes,
You don't have to be this
yes,
person conformed into somebody that you really not. you
yes,
you being
yes,
on here tonight and speaking out into the world, because you're outside of the United States of America.
yes.
You're talking to people
Mm-hmm.
beyond the United States of America and telling your story. And you know the thing about it, when you had the moment that you had, you know what it shows? That you're real. You are a human
Yes,
being.
ma'am.
You are real.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Absolutely.
you going through, but you have pain. You going through, and you it's just emotions that you feel. But also in your
Yes.
going through, you reminded us. Make sure that while you're going through, that you got some people that really love you. You gotta have
Mm-hmm.
people that
Absolutely.
really
Yep.
love
Yep.
you, and
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know
You
you
have to
do,
have that support system.
cause
Yes,
I
ma'am. You
see
have
it.
to have a support system. I have one of the most amazing support systems, family, friends. I mean, all the different hospitals and rehabs I didn't
Yeah,
been to. Like, I have all little names for them.
yeah.
Like they realize I would never. I could never. I wouldn't say I could never thank them enough for all the love that they have shown me from day one.
You have another
But
viewer that wants you to know. Say yes, Queen. Love you, cousin. I tell you, that family is on it. That family is on it.
yes,
So
yes,
we have right now 7 minutes left. See that time go fast.
yes, ma'am.
You have
Yes,
done
ma'am. Yes,
well.
ma'am.
So what will
You've done
happen
very well.
now? Um, because the reason why I read the chat section is to give, this is how I allow the viewers to participate when they get in the chat section. People will look at this after this interview is over and they'll make more comments. But you're going to be on YouTube now. You're not going nowhere.
Yes, ma'am.
The way that I do this at the ending is Jackie will come in and she's going to give some comments. And then I'm going to give about 2 minutes of comments, and you're gonna have the closing 3 minutes to tell us whatever you want to leave us with. Okay, that's how that
Okay.
goes. With Jackie, you want to
Well,
come
what
in?
I want to say, Sharonda, is what a blessing You
Thank you.
are, and what a blessing you must be to all of the lives that you touch every day. I mean, to have a positive outlook.
Yes.
and and I know I'm very much in the same boat that you are, although I don't have CF. I'm in the same boat. It doesn't serve any purpose to go around being mopey and whiny and complaining all
Yes.
the time. And but there are a lot of people who have issues like we have that dedicate their lives to being a complainer, right? So keep smiling, keep that smile. I am honored to have met you tonight, and I know that
Thank
if you
you.
can keep smiling, the world will keep smiling back at you, right
Yes.
back at you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so, what I'm going to say on tonight, again, I'm just like Jackie. I really, really appreciate you coming on. I want you to know that you are more than welcome to come back on Electric James Inspirational Talks. You might want to come on and just
Yes,
share
ma'am.
something,
Thank
some
you.
updates or something. It's just up to you. And me and Jackie, we always say, know that you're welcome to people that come on.
Yes, ma'am.
And even if you know somebody that want to come on and tell their story, it's fine.
Yes.
But what I'm going to say to you now is I've heard you talking about your son and how much you love your son, and he getting ready to graduate, right?
Yes.
Right? So I
Yes.
have
Yes.
I have what I call the Michael James Scholarship Fund. So every year
Oh.
I give out $100. There is small
Oh.
scholarships, but
Yes.
that's what it is. So I
That's
want
okay.
to give your son a scholarship this year. So I'll get
Oh.
your address. I'll get your
Thank
address. I
you.
need to get his name, so you can text that to me, and we'll talk, and I'll get it. I got to go get the cashier's check, but that will come from
Oh.
something that I developed when I lost my husband 6 years ago, and I've continued it since then.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And,
Certainly.
and so I want to give that to your son.
And we'll
Yes.
have a
Thank you.
closing. We'll have a scholarship podcast, and
Okay.
like I was trying to explain to you a little bit earlier today, and we would hope that you and your son would come back that night and be together on that with us that night on the scholarship program, uh, honoring Michael James. Yeah.
Oh. Thank y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'll get his information from you. But you get the last 3 minutes.
What do you
Okay.
want to say? What do you want to be the lasting impression that you leave with us?
Well, I just want to give some thanks to
Okay.
some
Yes.
people,
Go
to
ahead.
to my Lord and Savior first and foremost.
Yes.
My family and friends, what I'm saying, that's been stuck by me through thick and thin.
Yes.
UTMB staff, League City and Galveston, the
Yes.
rehab I went to, uh, is oh Lord.
Take your time. Take your time. You the
And
queen
to my
tonight.
CF family. Yeah, yes, ma'am. There you go. And to my Dr. Sanjay, my CF family.
Okay.
Because if you ever like looking for a CF doctor, he's in Houston. He's amazing. With the medications that I'm on, I was able to gain 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm completely, I'm healthy. Everything is under control. I see it under control. So if you ever looking for a doctor, look him up, Dr. Sanjay. He is a male.
Okay, that's
You be
okay.
having the women got that too.
Yeah.
But yes, I just want to say thank you to everyone. You know what I'm saying, that tuned in. I appreciate you, Miss Electra James. I really do. I thank you for allowing me to get my story out there. I'm truly honored to be on your show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, because it's been a long time coming. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I love
Yes.
y'all. Thank you so much.
You welcome. Before we get off, I want to, for while Jackie was on here, Jackie is an author. She's written 20 books. and I'm gonna put you on a
Yeah.
different thing here. Jacqueline,
Yeah.
she don't take a lot of credit for nothing, but she has written 20 books. And Jacqueline, Sharonda wants to write a book.
And that's what I'm
Oh,
gonna say. I
Yes.
want to write a book about my life because I got way more to share. And it's like, oh, I want to write a book in the near future, as well as I want to be able to have a movie, be done, of my life with CM because it's a whole lot more that I've been through. I just want to,
well,
it was a time limit. So yes,
I'll
ma'am.
tell you what we're gonna do. Alexa, you send me you text me her info, and I'll call you or text you. But I'm also gonna advise you to go to my channel. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Jacqueline's Life Well Lived, and I did a whole series about being a writer,
Okay.
about how to write a story, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. It doesn't matter. You just got to have some basic elements. So I'm going to advise you to head there. Jacqueline's Life Well Lived. Look at the writer's workshop, but I'm going to get your information from Electra, and we will talk. We will talk
Yes,
because
ma'am.
there is
Thank
nothing
you.
like getting words on a piece of paper. There's nothing like it.
Yes, ma'am. Amen. I
Oh,
agree.
all
We'll do
right
it.
I
then.
thank y'all so much.
Okay. All right.
All
Y'all
right,
have an
ladies.
amazing night. Thank y'all so
You
much.
have an
Okay.
amazing.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.